Hi, I'm Melanie from Nova Scotia, Canada, and this is Adventures in Groceryland. I don't really know how to begin except to say the budget has gone all to heck. I am totally going to have to buckle down for the remainder of the month because this is the beginning of July and I have already spent right around $145. Now, that involved several things that I don't normally do. I was at Costco, so number one. Number two, I was at Gateway. And number three, I have started sharing in my buys what I buy for the dogs for food and treats. So there is quite a lot of items that went in with this buy that fall under that category. Then I shopped again. And then I shopped again. So there's three separate little parts of this is what I bought. And then, oh yeah, add this to this is what I bought. And then another, oh yes, and one more time, add this to this is what I bought. This is a combined video. So you are going to see here everything that I bought mixed in with all of the meals that we've made this week. We did have Canada Day. We had some unexpected company on Canada Day. And so that's reflected in the quantity of food that I made for the lunch that day. Obviously way more than just what the handsome one and I would eat ourselves. So check it out. Let me know what you think. As always, I love feedback. I'm at Gateway. We are going to check it out. The line is moving quick, but there is a line. The bins are along the outside. Meats around the perimeter. Carts go right up the middle, around in a little circle. This week, I shopped at 3 stores. Costco, Gateway, and No Frills, and I spent $131.01 on groceries and some, well, pretty much no household supplies, 0 household supplies. So a lot of these items, they're either big ticket items or they were incredibly cheap. Let's get started. No Frills had posted a special on some canned drinks. These were not the ones that I had originally been looking at, but my neighbor often shops at No Frills, and I had sent her a picture of, they have a social media page, and they had posted that they had drinks. They were 8 packs for $2. And I'd asked her if she would pick me up a couple. And when she got there, they didn't have the kind that I had shared with her, but they showed her that they still had this kind. So this is San Pellegrino. It is lemon lime. These are flats of them, but in the flat, they have them like sealed in the plastic. There's 3 cases in each flat. The cases were $2 each. So I think that's a really phenomenal buy for 8 cans of San Pellegrino. I don't drink this kind of stuff myself, but the handsome one absolutely loves it. Plus we are coming into summer and I like to have a variety of things on hand in the cupboard that all of a sudden, if we have company, I can pop them into the fridge, or even worst case scenario, serve them with some ice. And it's nice to have different things, not just all the same things. So some of these will be for him to drink and some of these will be for us to save for company. The total, because I got 2 cases that she picked up for me, was $12. But then of course you must add on, in Nova Scotia, we have a bottle deposit, so each can has an additional 10 cents. So that came to $16.80, and then tax on top of that, $1.80. So this was $18.60. So 8, 16, 24. So this is 48 cans of the lemon zest San Pellegrino. I think that is a really reasonable buy. It just seems expensive because I bought a bulk quantity of them. So that was the No Frills purchase, and thanks so much for my neighbor for grabbing those for me. Then the next spot that we went to was, you hear that noise? We have planes on our lake. They are flying overhead right now. And yes, they're water planes or pontoon planes. They do land right on the lake, but sometimes they can be loud. We went to Gateway. It was a super fast experience. There was a line when we arrived, but it very quickly moved. I don't even think we were outside for 5 minutes. And it was very quick around. And it was the Friday before a long holiday weekend. So I'm very surprised that we were in and out that fast. Let's go over some of the items that I purchased there. My initial receipt at Gateway was for $56.18. I saved $94.55. I got a 3-pack of romaine lettuce for 97 cents. Grapes were on for $1.99 a pound, and these are my absolute favorite. They are red seedless grapes, but they're the small ones, and I really like the small ones. This worked out to $10.76, and I just want to show, like, these are massive bags. I feel like this was $30 worth of grapes because they were such a great buy. I got 2 large bags of them. It was actually 2.480 kgs, if anyone wants to work that out. So $10.76. And then I bought cherries. So I was the only one that purchased cherries. I got this tiny little bag. Didn't know if I would like these kind of cherries. This is not what I'm familiar with seeing. I'm familiar with like the dark red cherries. Anyways, we got outside and we were packing, and I ate one and I thought, oh wow, these are really good. I then shared, of course, with the other ladies, and they thought that they were really delicious as well. So I popped back in and got this bigger bag for me, and I got each a bag for them. The bag that I got the second time was $1.56. These are cherries. $1.56 for cherries. This just blows my mind. I believe that I got $50 worth of fruit in there today between grapes and cherries, and I paid about $13 for it. $14 for it. Anyways, I also got this little treat. I'm going to try these. I do have a Keurig. I normally make my own K-Cups just with grinds that I buy, but these piqued my interest. Salted caramel, light roast, and made by Kraft. They were $4.97. I bought this Crave Scramble kit. I've never had anything like this before. You can see down here at the bottom. Cheddar cheese, potatoes, broccoli, mushrooms, onions, and peppers. And all you have to do is crack an egg in there. And that is your scramble kit. Those were $5.97. And there is, let's see here, there is 6 in there. Oh, sorry, they were $4.97. Those were only $4.97. So less than $1 a lunch. Very reasonable. The tomatoes, 97 cents each, and they're 4 packs. Ontario tomatoes. Yep, Ontario tomatoes. Twizzlers, 97 cents each. Chippets, and these are the mint chippets, 97 cents each. Fish cakes. Here goes that plane again. So this was 510 grams of fish cakes. This was $5.97. That's where I was getting the $5.97 from. And then I also bought fish burgers. The fish burgers were $12.50. And there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Looks like 9 or 10 burgers in there. Pretty happy with that. And I also bought liver for the dogs. This is for the dogs. This is a big pack, $4.56. It was $6.59 a kg. That's $2.99 a pound. And you would think that liver would be really cheap. It's not. The dogs love it, but it is not really cheap. And pork liver is cheaper than any beef liver. I actually should have bought several packages of this. This was a really, really good buy. I also bought these little marvelous medley of potatoes, and they are the little teenies, the little small ones, and I like these small potatoes for grilling and things on the barbecue. So again, my whole total $56.18 plus that second receipt for the second pack of cherries. Also shopped at Costco. Let's see some of the items there. Here is my Costco receipt, and I have removed 2 things off of the receipt and changed the total. I bought something that was $20 plus tax. That is a Christmas gift, and I drew a line through it. And also, one of the items came in a 2-pack, and I split it with one of the other ladies. So instead of the full price there, I just deducted half of it. So my grand total at Costco was $54.67. I think I'm getting away pretty reasonable here. I feel like I had a reasonable, like, there's the opportunity to go crazy when you go to stores like Gateway and stores like Costco, and I was very moderate. Pepperoni. This is 1 kg of pepperoni. Was $10.99. And what's really interesting is all of the other girls I was with bought pepperoni at Gateway. They have a different brand there, but I'm fine with this brand, and this is a phenomenal buy. So I was very, very happy with this 1 kg for $10.99. I split this cilantro lime everything sauce. They were sampling it there on chicken, and it was regular $9.99 for a 2-pack, but it was on sale for $5.99 for a 2-pack. And then I split the 2-pack with one of my neighbors, so I only paid $2.99. Dog Delights. This is a massive bag, so I'm going to say a price, and so people who perhaps are not familiar with what the costs of some kind of dog treats are, you might be a little surprised. This was regular $19.99 and $18.99, sorry, regular $18.99, saved $4, so it brought it down to $14.99. And if I would have gotten a different variety other than lamb, like if I would have gotten chicken, it would have even been cheaper than that. But I did not realize that they were different prices until I got home and I was scrutinizing my receipt. So I will know better for next time. This is a 1.25 kg. These are chewy sticks. So what I like about these, no additives, no artificial preservatives, no colors. They're made in Canada. I like getting the dogs good things. Like I said, we make their food, so I like getting them good things. So $15 for 1.25 kgs of chewy lamb sticks. I think that was a very good buy. Now this big lean ground pork chub, this is also for the dogs. Now I shared in one of the last videos that I made that we make all of their food, and they eat a variety of things, but we find that making things with ground pork, ground chicken, ground beef, here's another plane. This is the 3rd plane in about 10 minutes. Like, this is a lot of planes today. We find that making items with ground meat is very easy for us, and the dogs like it. This was regular $19.99. Each one was automatically discounted $4 at the cash, and they're not different weights, they're not different sizes. There was no way to look through the bin. This was a consistent size, and these were a consistent price. All of them were $19.99. So it brought the price down to so from $20 down to $16. And as you can see, there's 3 kgs in here, or 6.6 pounds. I worked it out, and it worked out to be $2 and change, like $2.30, I believe. I'll do some more math when the video is done, but I believe it worked out to about $2.30 a pound. That's a phenomenal buy, and the dogs really like this. So we will subdivide this and freeze it flat in freezer bags. This was my one and only big, not a splurge. It wasn't even that expensive, but it was a impulse. This was my big impulse buy. All of the other things, I'd actually gone on the website for Gateway in advance and was looking through their flyers. I had an idea of the things that I wanted to buy. I was turning over fish cakes, yes or fish cakes, no, but I ended up buying them. But nothing else was really a splurge. These were all items that they had posted that I had planned on getting. I absolutely planned on getting this. I had seen this in the flyer and I was kind of, do I want it? And what I was hesitating over was I've never had it before, and there were 2 bottles. But what won me over when we were actually able to sample it, and when one of the neighbors said, hey, does someone want to go splits? Well, that just sold me on that. But this was the impulse. These are corn chip dippers. They look like scoops, like Tostitos scoops. I brought these in, and the handsome one said, what are these for? And I said, I don't know. I don't know what they're for. Yeah, so I don't usually buy things and say I don't know what they're for. I've always got a plan. But those were $6.49. Yes, that is a lot of money. However, it's 2 pounds. Most bags of chips are about 200 grams, if you're lucky. 200 grams. Some things are a little heavier, but most bags of chips now are under 200 grams. So $6.49. I think that's a great buy. Again, my receipts here, $54.67 minus the Christmas present and half of the cream. $56.18. $18.60. And then my one little, oh, here it is. My one little extra purchase at Gateway, another $1.56. I didn't even buy $3 worth of cherries. Those 2 bags together were not $3. Now, the cherries need to get eaten up right away. You can tell that they're not as fresh as the grapes. The grapes will last longer, but I'm going to do a better job of cleaning this stuff up and getting them in the fridge in proper containers so that we will be able to maintain the lifespan of them and they'll last longer. I was pretty happy. For supper tonight, we are going to have fish burgers. These were the first burgers that were on that tray. I find this really odd that that's how they were packaged. The bag was folded up and then placed on top of a styrofoam tray, but they are all sealed inside of this bag. There's actually 9 fish burgers in here, and we are going to just throw these in the oven on convection bake, and we are going to have fish burgers for supper tonight. This is after 15 minutes in the oven. It said to cook them for 15 and then flip them and put them in for another 10. Perfect. We'll put them back in. Fish burger. On mine, I have ketchup and cheese, and I just made quick salads. We still have a few tomatoes left over that we need to use up before we get into the fresh ones that I got for this week, and I added some cucumber, some red onion, and I put just a little bit of a Kraft salad dressing that we had in the fridge, a tiny, tiny bit, and that's what we're having for supper. Yum, yum. I just unboxed the salted caramel Kraft. These are the type of pods they are. Okay. They came in this sealed bag that I had to cut open. We're going to give these a try. Compostable. Okay, that's good. Here we go. I set it for strong and 8 ounces. So we'll see what this tastes like. 8 ounces didn't fill my cup, so depending on how this tastes, I could probably get 10 ounces out of each pod. I added some milk. I'm unsure. I'm uncertain. It smelled delicious, but the taste of it is only mediocre compared to how wonderful it smells. So I'm going to keep drinking it. That was just my first mouthful today. Handsome one likes it. We'll see how the rest of the cup goes. The handsome one and I each had one of the salted caramel coffee pods. So now I'm going to do an experiment. I often think to myself, it's the same grinds, whether I choose an 8-ounce cup, a 10-ounce cup, or a 12-ounce cup, especially if it's just a pod. So really, I could have chosen 12 ounces and 4 more ounces of water would have flown through this little pod. And same with this little pod. When I used to have the drip coffee maker or percolator, whatever you want to call it, I would put the grinds in and it would be making like a full pot of coffee. Same grinds, just more of them. So I'm going to open this. I'm going to open this. I'm going to put those into here. And then I'm going to add 1 scoop of fresh grinds. Because if I was making a coffee for myself, I would be putting two scoops of grinds into here, which is my own Keurig pod. And I more than likely would be choosing 12 ounce. So we're going to see what happens if I do this. Experiments are good. I just peeled back the top and you can see once it releases, really how tightly packed the grinds were in here. So we are just going to put it in there, but I need 2 hands free or I'm going to make a huge mess. The quantity of grinds in that pod was just unreal. I have actually tamped this down. You can see it is almost at the fill mark. There's no possible way I'm going to be able to fit the second one in there. What I am going to do is add just a tiny little bit of fresh grounds. Let's see. And that's a bit over the fill mark. And we're going to try this, and it's going to be at the 8 ounce. And we're going to see what we get from this. Maybe it'll be disgusting. I don't know. There was a tiny little bit of coffee left in my mug before I started. This doesn't look quite as dark as the first one. That could be because the bit of coffee had some milk in it, or simply because, you know, I have reused that one pod and then added to it. I'm going to add a little bit of milk and we'll tell you what it tastes like. I'll tell you, it doesn't taste much different than the first cup, really. Not that people are going to be taking the time to do this. I am aware of that. But I've heard of people reusing their tea bags before, or maybe combining 2 used tea bags together to make a third cup. So I have heard that. I don't know if people do this with grinds. I just wanted to try it as an experiment. And this tastes to me like the first cup. So there you go. This is mind-blowing to me, and I want to thank Candy Tate, one of the subscribers to the channel, for pointing this out and bringing it to my attention. So in front of me, you see some preserves that I have made. From left to right, we have pickled peppers, pizza sauce, syrup, actually, the handsome one did the maple syrup, and salsa. About a year ago, I saw another channel and they had these reusable seals so that when you are opening something and storing it in your fridge, the rings, like the metal rings, rust. And so it's cold in a fridge, it's condensation, and that has happened to me many, many, many times. And sometimes they get like sticky with rust, like hard to turn on and turn off. So anyways, I saw these, I ordered them on Amazon. I've been using them ever since. So Candy messaged me. Now, this is a while ago in a previous video, and she just touched base with me on, I guess, yesterday, the day before, with whether I actually tested out her theory, and I hadn't. So I don't know how many of you remember when I was buying these crunchy Kraft peanut butters for 99 cents. This is a 500-gram jar. So it doesn't matter what brand, the Kraft, whether it is store brand, Dollarama brand, the size of the jar, these jars are the same. And she said, in the States, the lid from your peanut butter will fit on your mason jar. Have you tried it to see if it will fit on yours? It is literally a perfect fit. So that is a standard size jar. So even though these jars are different sizes. The lids are all standard size. It's funny because I have just been contemplating buying some more of the rings because it always seems like even though I have 4, I still have other things in the fridge that I've opened that I would like to have these kind of lids on. This just opens up opportunities for me. And I'm sharing this because perhaps it will open opportunities up for you as well. I recycle the jars. I don't save them. And the lids also go in the recycling as well. So I'm going to start saving the lids because I can use them just for storage, proper storage of my opened mason jars in the fridge. Standard sized lids. Yay! We are going to try these little Crave scramble kits for lunch today. I'm very curious to see what they're like. It's always, when you buy something for the first time, you always never know if you like it or not, or if something that you see that's on a clearance or a markdown, would it be worth buying it? So let's check it out. Number 1, it says remove the lid and pouches from the cup. Okay. Don't like all the packaging, but we'll see what this is all about. So it's got a little cheese pack and it's got a little veggie pack. Crack 1 or 2 eggs into the cup. Well, we're just going to use 1. Empty the content of the pouches into the cup. Stir. Okay. Microwave on high for 40 seconds. Stir. And then microwave an additional 30 seconds for 1 egg. If preparing with 2 eggs, follow the same directions as 1 egg. Okay, yeah. All right, we're going to make this happen. Eggs are in. Let's give them a little scramble. Okay, we've got everything in each one. Let's give these a little stir. Two hands really come in handy. We did find my ring light that has the setup for me to use the camera, but there was a mishap in the move, and it is currently unusable. The handsome one is going to attempt to fix it, but we don't know if that's going to be possible. So for now, this is still the way. This is the way. I did a little sprinkle of bacon bits. I still have the remnants of my old package of bacon bits. We haven't opened up the new one yet. So just merge this in because why not? This is after the first 40 seconds. You can see that it's starting to cook. I'm going to give it another stir. Okay, this is what the final looks like. My feedback. Certainly, absolutely, 100% convenient. I get it. For me, unless it was on for like a crazy sale, just having a little cup like this, so this is just my little 1 cup glass bowl, I could make this very, very easily. I often have bits and bobs of random different veggies in the fridge. So sometimes it's just about getting ideas of what you could do. Super, super easy. And it's funny, I used to make stuff like this a lot about 15 years ago. All the time. I ate stuff like this. Very, very regular. And I just kind of got away from it. But this one was all veggies. You can buy different ones. So if they come with different meats and things like that in it, I could see perhaps you wouldn't have those individual meats in your fridge. But for people that are really on the go, this, even buying this just as it is, this is definitely a time saver or a money saver over going through the drive-thru and trying to get an English McMuffin sandwich or anything, really, anywhere. But then based on, is this convenient for me in my home when I'm not in a rush and leaving the home? Maybe I should just make it myself. I mean, life is really about choices that fit your lifestyle, and everything has a specific time where the purpose of it would be more impactful and more helpful than other times. Just saying. Just because I had them, I used one of my little science experiment green onion, 1 stalk, just as a topper on top of this, just to give it a little fresh color. Why am I always looking in the burger freezer? I'm not sure, but they have these Earl's beef burgers. It's 100% Canadian chuck when you look on the back. So yes, these boxes have popped open. They're sealed on the inside, but the only ingredients is beef chuck. No fillers, no nothing else. Okay, I'm at 145.79 now. You ever have something happen that was kind of disappointing and you just felt a little bit crushed about it? Handsome One bought a collectible and we found out that it was counterfeit. So it was a disappointing day. Decided we were going to get something special for supper tonight. That doesn't necessarily mean we have to go out to eat, but we did decide that we were just going to do something special. So that's why I was in the grocery store. And then some other deals just kind of fell into my lap. I shouldn't try to justify this for any reason. I'm just gone right crazy with spending. That's all. I've just gone bonkers. So I was in Soes and Superstore. The receipt here at Superstore says 2046, but I had sent a message to my neighbors before I was heading out saying if anybody needs anything, this is where I'm going. And there were 2 items on this receipt that were going for one of the neighbors. So I ended up getting 2 T-bone steaks. We're going to have those for supper tonight. These were 50% off. So I ended up paying $6.63 for one and $5.73 for the other. And I know I've already mentioned that the dogs absolutely love liver. And this was $2.43. And then Sobeys. I did want to get some cream for coffees for making some special things. I'm trying to make those iced coffees now and just wanted some. I was thinking if we had baked potatoes coming up, we are out of sour cream, so that was on my list. And Sobeys had the Taylor Farm salads on for $3.99, a really good deal. So those were on my list, and I was going to redeem all of the rest of my fast fuel coupons for them. I had about $10 in fast fuel coupons. So, okay, that's what I was going to do. And then we walked past the frozen food section. Oh, yeah, one of my neighbors went with me. And I'm always looking kind of in there at the burgers. Why? I don't know. Do we need any more burgers? We don't. I just feel like I need to look in that freezer when we go by. And I saw these Earl's beef patties marked down to $5. And so I never really have given these any thought before. I thought I would check them. And when I looked on the back and the ingredient was just beef chuck, I thought, well, that's a really good deal. So she was getting some. I was contemplating it. I was thinking maybe I'll just get a box. One of the staff came over and Sobeys currently has on buy 2 boxes of burgers and get 1 free. And I said, would these apply for that even with the discounted price? And she said, yes. So it worked out to $10 for 2 boxes. Plus I got a 3rd box free. And I thought I just can't resist. The coffee cream was $5.99. The sour cream was $4.19. I specifically got lactose free. And the grand total of everything was $24.17. But you can see here I did a points redemption of $20. And then down below you can see that I redeemed fast fuel coupons. And the difference was 1 cent that I owed. So in Canada, there's no pennies anymore. So I gave them 5 cents because there's no possible way they can give me back 4 cents. So the 5 cents just rounded up to 5 cents and I got my nickel back. Anyways, this just added on to the total now. I came home and the handsome one was like, why are there more burgers? More frozen things. And I mean, when you think about it, that works out to $3.33 a box. And they're 5-ounce burgers. I just couldn't not. And we're going to eat that salad. I think we're going to have that salad tonight too. And we are going to have the T-bone steaks. Salad, T-bone steaks, and baked potatoes. A little update on my indoor herbs. So this is the coriander. Now I have, say, 6 or 7 actual sprouts. This is basil. It's doing really well. Still nothing in the leaf lettuce and nothing in the parsley as of yet. I have one oregano. No, this isn't oregano. What is this? Sage. 1 sage. and the oregano is not doing that great. So they're just so little. They had started to come up good, and they're just not surviving. But my summer savory is doing great. So we're just keeping our eye on this. I'm starting to get everything ready for supper. The handsome one's already turned on the barbecue. I have already washed and pierced the potatoes. Those are getting ready to go in the microwave. We've got the good stuff out. We're not using the Costco big bottle today. I'm using the good stuff, Montreal steak spice, low sodium, and I'll make the salad shortly. All right, we're going to get the salad ready. I'm hoping that everything will fit in this bowl here. Mostly. I can smell the dill really strong already. This barely fit in the bowl. I'm going to get this covered and we'll pop it in the fridge to chill between now and when we serve supper. Steaks, baked potatoes, and dill pickle salad for supper. This looks amazing. Delicious. This coffee, I used the frothing wand and some of the International Delight coffee creamer. The pot is already in here. We're going to give it a good stir. I might have used a little too much. And we're going to see what this is like. I like the froth. For lunch today, it is another dreary, rainy, and cool day. We are going to have oatmeal. All right, we've got some boiling water. Plus, I know these are kind of wilty. They're a couple weeks old, but they're going in there because they're going to be cooked. And yeah, let's stir this up. And let's let it cook. I added one more extra scoop. This is looking really good. I just turned the heat off, so we'll let this kind of cook with the remnants of the heat on the burner. This looks pretty tasty. Oatmeal for lunch. Oatmeal with blueberries and brown sugar for lunch. One final redemption for this week. There's a possibility that we might be having company. I wanted to have some things on hand for dips. So I bought this pre-cooked lobster. So you can see $5 off, $1 off. Worked out to $6.26. And I got the Rotel, which was on sale for $2, and the hamburger buns, which were on sale for $2.22. I redeemed 1,000 scene points and the rest in fast fuel coupons. I didn't have to pay anything. Another cool, wet, and dreary day. We are going to make chili. It's supposed to rain again tomorrow, so this will be good to have for a couple days in a row, whether we just have straight chili or whether we decide to make chili cheese nachos, chili cheese fries, whatever, chili dogs. We'll just make a regular batch of chili. I know I have some frozen, I think it's like a medley of peppers, celery, and onions. Maybe I'll check that out before I cut into this fresh onion. Let's get cooking. Adding in diced tomatoes. mushrooms. Beans, but I'm not using the whole can, maybe half the can. And then I'll freeze the rest for another recipe. Seasoning. Tomato soup. This is looking really great. We'll let it cook a little bit longer and then I'll do some taste testing and see if we need to add more spices. Chili for supper tonight and probably for the next couple nights. We are making burgers and sausages for lunch today. I'm not sure what I'm going to serve with them, but we have the barbecue on and we're going to get these on right away. We are also going to top the burgers with cheese. All right, we are having burgers, sausages, leftover dill salad. For the burgers, we have tomatoes, onions, cucumbers on the side if people want. We have lettuce, grapes, and we have mayo, ketchup, and mustard. And that means I need to get the relish out. Hamburger, sausage, leftover salad, cucumbers, and grapes. There's lots of leftover chili, so we have decided for supper tonight we are going to have chili cheese fries. I'm not sure what the cheese part of the chili cheese fries is going to be. I have cheese curds, so it could be like a poutine. I have cheese that we could grate, but I also have like cheese sauce that I could make, like a queso sauce. So I'll think about that while I've got the fries in the air fryer, and we'll decide what the cheese part will be. So we decided to go with a queso. Really, that's kind of what you think of when you think chili cheese nachos. You don't think of shredded cheese and you don't think of cheese curds. So this was a half a package that I had in the cupboard. I find that these packages make so much for the majority of the things that we make, especially sauces and dips, that we get a minimum of 2 servings or two times. So I just kind of measure and think, okay, oh, there's this much in it. Oh, good. I'm down to about half now. I don't weigh anything or do anything, but I'm going to make this. I just check the potatoes and they have about 6 minutes left. So we'll get this started. The chili is already heated. The full recipe is 1.5 cups of milk. So because I'm making a half pack, it is 3/4 of a cup of milk. And I need to read the instructions. Whisk the mix in and then bring it to a heat. So let's get this mix in here. All right, and we will whisk. Turn the heat on low. And then you add shredded cheese, and it would be 1 cup if it was a full package, but this will only need 1/2 cup. You don't put that in until I cook this for 5 minutes. Fries are done. I cooked them in the air fryer, so you saw that I tossed them in a little bit of vegetable oil. The temperature was 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and I cooked them for 33 minutes. Typically, I do 35, but we set the timer for 25 on this one, and then I checked them. I just wanted to make sure things were going okay, and then I put them back in for another 8 minutes. It could have been 10. Sauce is boiling. And now I add in cheese. Oh, this smells good and it's looking real good. I don't think I've made queso in like, well, since not in 2024. We're already now in July. This is looking great. All right. I'm doing the queso first. Stringy. Switch. This looks good. Chili cheese nachos with queso, garnished with green onion. This looks pretty appealing. The handsome one shelled the lobster, and I will admit I'm a little disappointed. I was thinking there was going to be enough lobster in that we could divide it into 3 separate dips. Now, I don't mean huge dips that we are serving to a bunch of people, but 3 separate dips for us. And we are going to be lucky to get 2 dips out of this. I am going to cut it up really fine, mix it like with a sour cream base, and this is going to be a cold dip with crackers. Okay, I have the half of the lobster chopped up fine. I am going to add some sour cream, some spices, and we're going to get this mixed up. So this is what the finished dip looks like, and we're just going to have some with crackers. These are the pothos that I was rooting. They've got some nice, good, solid roots on them now. And I'm not making a new plant. What I'm doing is I'm just feeding them back into the parent plant so that it's more full. Even though we're still a bit scraggly, this is looking better with the other 2 pieces rooted in there. So there used to be 3, now there are 5. Leftovers are so fabulous when you just want a quick lunch. I'm just heating up chili for lunch today. So sometimes I'm curious about what I make costs total. So I made a big pot of chili and I broke it down. $3.50 for the ground beef, because I know I didn't pay over more than that. Actually, I think it was less. $1 for the canned tomatoes, 50 cents for the canned soup. I said 50 cents for the canned beans because I would have paid $1 for the beans, but I only used half the can. I froze the rest. $1 for the canned mushrooms. I had 2 cans set out, but I only ended up using 1. Now here I'm estimating on the high side. So I used frozen veggies, onion, and some peppers. I'm going to estimate that that cost me total $2, and then 88 cents for the chili seasoning. That worked out to $9.38 total for the pot. We've eaten 3 meals out of it, and I am freezing enough for a 4th meal. So I didn't break it down per serving. I'm breaking it down for what did the meal cost my household? $2.35. So yes, making the chili was perhaps more expensive than making some other meals. However, we're getting 4 meals for 2 of us out of it. And that means it actually worked out to less per meal than some of the single meals that we make that don't have leftovers to carry forward. Anyways, I'm trying these freezer bags from Dollarama. We will see how they work out. I split up the ground pork that we had got in this week's shop for towards the dog's food, and I split that up, and it was my first use of these bags. These were $1.25, and there were 12 bags, so 12 freezer bags. So that means if I got 24 bags, it would cost me $2.50. That's pretty cheap. So I'm just really curious of how these will hold up. I always like trying and seeing what's going to be the best value for my money. I actually freeze a lot of items in freezer containers, but we're just at a point right now where I simply don't have the space for containers. So all of my stuff for the next little while anyways needs to be frozen in freezer bags flat, so that I can fit more items in the freezer. Tonight for supper, we are going to have pork loin rib cutlets, breaded cutlets. We're going to try these on the barbecue. I'm not sure what we're going to have with it yet. We will think of something. Change of plans. After discussing this with the handsome one, because these are breaded, we are going to pan fry them. We're going to have it with this special rice. This has red jasmine and brown rice and purple jasmine. So just a little specialty rice to go with it. And for veg, I'm not sure yet. Rinsing the rice in cold water. Look how cloudy that water is already. And we'll strain it. We're going to go with a cauliflower and broccoli mix. I'm going to steam this, and when it's done, I'm going to throw some cheese in there to melt, so we'll have it in a cheese sauce. I have the pan sprayed with olive oil. I've already brought it to temperature. Oh, let's see if we can get another one here. Three will fit in there, I think. Ooh. Sounds good. That's what I wanted to hear. I'm going to try to flip these over. Ooh, that looks good. Right here, Tom. This looks good and smells really good. This is pork chop cutlets with broccoli and cauliflower in cheese, and rice. Leftovers from Canada Day we are going to have for lunch today. There's 2 burgers in there. There is sausages. I've got leftover cut tomatoes, lettuce, and onions, cucumbers. Yeah, so we're just going to have a lunch of leftovers. Clean that stuff out of the fridge. Hamburger, sausage, leftover salad. Yes, there's still some of that hanging around. And cucumber for lunch. We thawed out some chicken drumsticks, so we are going to have barbecue chicken drumsticks for supper. Some of these little mixed baby potatoes, we're going to cut these up and also throw these on the barbecue. Butter and spices added. We're going to get this right on the barbecue. Barbecue drumsticks with barbecued potatoes and garden salad. Garden salad has romaine lettuce, tomatoes, cucumbers, mushrooms, and grapes. Really, really, really looking forward to this. I have this rice left over from supper the other night. We were originally going to have those little crave breakfasts for lunch, where you just crack the egg and stir it up. But we decided that for supper tonight, we want to have fish cakes and eggs. So we're trying to think of something else to have for lunch. My idea was to use this rice as a base for some kind of a summer salad. I'll be honest, the handsome one's not feeling it, so I better make it really good. I was thinking that I could cut up just some of the veggies that we have here, add into this, and then use some kind of dressing like olive oil, lime juice, something to keep it kind of fresh. Anyways, we're going to give this a go. The limes are getting older now, so what I am doing is I am just rolling them to kind of soften up inside so that when I go to squeeze them, they'll be a little juicier. So as you can see, the outside looks older. However, don't be fooled. The inside looks fine. A little bit of olive oil. Tomatoes. This is the regrown green onions. I am cleaning those up now, so this has been a little while. What I've noticed is the bases, I don't know why, but they're starting to get yucky. Like the roots are getting yucky and a bit smelly, so I'm done with regrowing these ones. I'm going to get as much as I can out of this and then perhaps grab one from the garden. I don't know if they're ready or not. I'm going to try. I'm going to grab some mint from here to put in the salad, and I don't know if I'm going to try for green onion or chives. I don't know. Let me take a look here. What have we got? What can I think I'm going to try this biggie. This one right here. One mint and one green onion. I think it's looking good. I added the juice from one more lime, salt, pepper, dill, and a little bit of vinegar. We're going to give this one more stir, and then we're going to serve it up. I'm hoping this tastes as good as it looks because it looks really, really good, appealing. I'm really enjoying this. I don't know about the handsome one. He hasn't come inside yet to start eating, but I'm liking it. For supper tonight, we are having fish cakes, fried eggs, and hash browns. I'm going to get everything in the oven now. We're going to put these in the oven. I don't know what the cooking instructions say. Where are they? Cook from frozen until internal temperature. Well, that's not. Oh, there we go. Skillet or oven. We're going to do oven 350. Okay. This isn't really how I was thinking these were going to turn out. I probably should have pan fried these in hindsight. The hash browns are looking good, but I'm not sure. These aren't getting toasty and brown. I really do feel like maybe I should pan fry them. And someone says just to put them back in the oven. I've got the eggs in. Gonna flip them here soon. We put the fish cakes in the oven, but we're fully prepared to pan fry them when the eggs are done. Flipped good for me. All right, this is looking better. I reread the instructions and I missed one critical piece. Bake them in the oven on a piece of parchment paper. Huh. This looks better. Fish cake, eggs, hash browns, and grapes for supper. Looks good. Thanks everybody for tuning in this week. We actually had some really phenomenal meals. And honestly, how could I not buy those burgers? How could I not buy those burgers for $5? We hemmed and hawed about it, and then when we realized that they were buy two and get one free, and there was only 5 boxes, so we each bought 2, and we split the 5th box so that we could each have half of the free burgers, because that just seems fair. It was a really good buy, and we actually enjoyed those burgers here on Canada Day, so it was exciting. New burgers to try, and they were really good. Thanks everybody. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, I would love it if you would do so. That would help me. And stay tuned for Monday for container gardening video update number 2. And I've got exciting stuff to show with that.